next best thing to living in New York. It's not living on Long
No,
Island.
it's not.
I think we call it the armpit of the East Coast.
The problem with Long Island is there's no fucking escaping Long Island.
No, there
The only way
isn't.
out is through New York City, and that's a pain in the ass.
So I used to work with college students, and one time I had to drive my college students to a conference that was upstate, and one of my students.
Oh wait, what's upstate?
Well, I think it was Albany. I mean, Albany's.
Upstate starts at Harlem.
So anyway, she's like helping direct me, and we end up going through fucking Brooklyn because. Because I think he still has 3 people on some that have 4 mics. So if I were him, I would like add a 4th, since we have 4 mics now. But somebody will probably just jump on.
Yeah, I don't think this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
It does have the reads, stream only reads, so, and those are just different. There's up here that we got in the, alright, just keep those handy. Excuse me. Spoken like, where are you from? Oh no, that is.
So living in Ohio,
Alright, Michigan, New York, beautiful.
Should stay on.
Cute, awesome.
Do y'all need a producer or anything?
Yeah, maybe a line right there.
well, you really fought on that one.
My understanding is the mics don't really start streaming until basically the first jam. So
Ladies and gentlemen, and both and neither, this is Mo Cheesemo coming at you
I am Handle Barbarian. We've got a game coming up right now. It's going to be Team Michigan
versus Team New York. We may or may not have time to get through the rosters, but real quick for New York, we got number 2, Pinky Swears, 063, She Devil, 08, Aaron Watershow, 09, Kill Valentine, 110, Switchcraft, 12, 13, Fuerza Brutal, 16, Sweets, 18, The Hammer, 2, Chubby 2 times, 248, Salt in Your Wound, 293, Ruxy Foscadation, 2150, Fifi, 2345, J Swift, 40, Chuck Strakowski, 7, Rocky Bonobo, 86, Jerk Beefy, 87, Little Orphan Slammy, 817, Jag, 8008, Nurse Ratchet.
All right, we'll see. We've got time to get down on Team Michigan. 00, it's going to be Mangler. 08, Jill Bros Wagons. Number 10, Swift Justice. Number 14, Oi. Number 121, that's going to be Price. Number 187, that is going to be your captain today, Slamlet. 1331 is going to be Blue Eyed Bruiser. 2 is To Be Frank. 22 is Yar. Number 23, Mattitude Adjustment. Number 28, your other co-captain, Racer Mick Chaser. We're going to pause right there and get into the action.
We are go here on the first jam. It is She Devil up for New York, McDonald for Michigan.
All right, McDonald finds a hole on the inside, but is tapped ever so slightly.
And New York takes the first lead jam. McDonald out of the pack as well with a looked like a star stash, but if it was real quick.
All right, Racer McChaser, the pivot, now the jammer at the end of that one. New York did put up 4, and less than 30 seconds later, we're getting ready to start the next one. So to finish out the roster real quick, it's going to be 32 McDonald, number 33 Javelin, number 333 Carrie Finn Purcell, 401 is going to be Jay Sandin, and number 62 is Fracture, 8 Nesquik, 800 Terminator, 911 is K Cotton, and 922 is Jawbreaker Jose.
All right, back on the track, we got Switchcraft going up against Gilbro Swaggins. Oh, Switchcraft with a quickness, grabbing lead jammer on that one. 2 in a row for New York, but she's headed off the track for a track cut.
All right, so Joe Bros Wagons did remove the helmet cover, so there is no lead
jammer. No lead jammer
on this one. We're going to go 2 minutes on this one. Joe Bro already around again, mixing things up, gets shoveled to the outside. I think is able to keep it upright and inbounds. We've got a whistle blowing up in front. We've got a track gut being called, and we're going to lose one from New York.
Yeah, that is Sweets, the pivot, coming to us from Ithaca Roller Derby.
All right, Blue Eyed Bruiser tried to come up, clear things up, was able to mix it up enough to allow Jill Bro through. The official count is going to be 4 for Team Michigan.
All right, tied up 4-4. And looks like Switch has been released. And, big hit from 1331.
That's Blue Eyed Bruiser with a big takedown in the back.
Yowza.
Meanwhile, Joe Bros Wagons is able to put up another 4, and Michigan will swing the lead back in their favor. This in Jam 2.
And since we are going for 2 minutes, we still have 40 seconds on the clock here. Switch has the opportunity to put up some points.
Sweets and Oi are back on the track, so it's a full 5-on-5 as the happy penalty box is now empty.
Oi pushed out, recycles back. You don't see that on blockers so much, but Michigan
is back on the track again, so she's got 12 on this one.
New York losing a blocker to the box.
Fellow Detroit skater Ada is in the middle as the jam skater, or the jam ref for Jill Bros Wagons, and another 4 points is going to go up for Jill.
Yeah, Switch only makes it out of the pack at the very end as the whistle blows of that 2 minutes. 16-point jam for Michigan. And that is our first lead change of the morning.
All right. 14 Michigan, we've got Jawbreaker Jose.
And I believe that's Rocky Bonobo up there. Fifi, actually, my bad. 21-50.
Skaters already hitting the floor as the whistle is blown. Fifi trying to find her way through on the inside. It's going to be closed down there by Fracture. Meanwhile, Jawbreaker Jose tries to go down the middle, just getting rocked back and forth repeatedly. Finn Purcell is the hit out on Fifi and the drag back. Jawbreaker Jose battling it out up in front, but it's going to be Fifi out in front, the 21-50. New York lead jammer.
Fifi with a persistent attack there. Some great defense by Michigan. Fifi back around now, running straight up the middle in a 3-wall. Knocked to the inside. Knocked. Yep, going to be recycled back. And we'll call it.
Yeah, she called it on the inside as Fracture Mechanics from Ann Arbor, I believe, was coming around applying the pressure. So that will lock in New York and holding them to just 2 on that last jam. Yeah, that was the star pass.
All right, Fracture Mechanic. Six to 16, Michigan on top right now.
All right, Detroit is out there. I'm sorry, not Detroit. Michigan is out there. So used to my home league. Sorry
That's
about
fair.
that. Nesquik out there, number 8, actually skating out of Great Lakes Roller Derby, a fresh new team out of Fraser area.
And Fifi is sitting a penalty. Must have been called right at the very end because she was able to call it off. So I question that. But there's a track cut being called on Michigan's jammer now.
That's right. Nesquik is going to the penalty box. Not often that you see her go. And Fifi is going to be released and served. Now,
Less than 30 seconds, yeah.
Nesquik will now serve less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, she was not standing yet, so less than 20 seconds.
So Fifi is back in the mix. That's 2 in a row, done the hard way.
Yeah, no lead jammer available. And it looks like Fifi is sitting again. That will release Nesquik. And that is, let's see, 3 power jams and 3 jams.
Ooh, Nesquik knocked to the outside there by the 12-13.
Fuerza Brutal. Yeah, we've seen some great defense from her this weekend. She was in heavy contention for, well, you see there she just got a penalty. Heavy contention for MVP, but she has picked up a few penalties this weekend. Her hits can be brutal, living up to that name.
All right, so here we are, a minute 20 into the jam when we finally have our initial pass down for Nesquik.
Fifi has been released from the box at this point. 1 blocker sitting for New York, otherwise at full capacity. And there goes Fifi. That's her initial pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure if lead was still available at that point, but they had the star in hand, so it was not.
Well, double jammer penalties, so no lead on this one.
Oh, you're right.
We're going for 2 once more.
And we're going to pick up 1 for New York for direction of gameplay. Blocker will go to the happy penalty box. And both jammers were able to pick up 3 on this one.
Yep,
so
all right.
A hard-fought lateral move forward to the end of the game.
9 to 19, that'll put things at. And an official review being called by New York. We may or may not get the information on that. We'll relay it from the house call if we can hear it.
This pause in the bout is brought to you by 888 and 187 Killer Pads. Also want to talk real quick about the Gillespie Group. The Gillespie Group specializes in the management, development, and reimagination of residential and commercial real estate properties. They credit quality people, a relentless creative spirit, and a passion for reinvention in their ability to leave a lasting impact on a Michigan's landscape. It was funny, I was wheeling my way down Michigan Avenue on the way here today.
Yeah.
And I passed by the Gillespie Group. They are literally just kitty corner block away from us right here.
Yeah, they're all over the place too. A lot of signs I've seen up in developing areas. So doing a lot of work out there.
And I know we've talked about this a little bit before, and I know I'm powered a little bit myself by Happy, the official sponsor of the Penalty Box. Penalty Box is sponsored by Happy Coffee. It's expertly blended and slow roasted for more complex notes, char-free taste, and ultimate smoothness. Now that's Happy. Happy is proud to partner with NAMI, N-A-M-I, the largest grassroots mental health organization in the U.S. And if you want more information, you can please visit nami.org or happyproducts.com/NAMI.
Can you imagine if they gave shots of coffee to whoever's sitting in the penalty box, really amp them up so they come out on fire? Now, I think that idea might have some legs.
That might have some legs, but anybody with like 5 penalties, their teeth are going to be buzzing.
And they're going to come out and get a 6th one immediately.
Instantly.
All right, so official review still ongoing. Yeah. Handle Barbarian's going to head on to the middle, see if he can get any info on what's going on. And relay that back to you fine folks as soon as we know. Since this is going on for a moment, let me tell you about Sacred Roller Skate Supply. Sacred Roller Skate Supply, your source for high-quality skates and gear, custom builds, and community engagement. Queer-owned and operated since 2021, Sacred brings not only a passion for maintaining a supportive environment for skaters of all levels and all identities, but also providing industry-leading brands. Whether it's roller derby, park skating, rink, or recreational, Sacred has you covered. What do we got, Handlebar?
Well, we just went into the middle, and what they're looking for is New York was looking to say that Michigan had a legal procedure with a non-jammer pickup of the star. So they are going to retain that because that definitely did happen.
Yeah.
So we've got a penalty being assessed.
Okay. Every now and then, somebody gets to retain their official review. And what a penalty was assessed to team captain? Are they sitting? I can't quite see from this angle.
I believe it is captain, and they are seated now.
Okay, very good.
And when we get back in underway, New York will be fielding She Devil, and Michigan will have McDonald. Donnie, as they are affectionately known at their home league.
Very good.
All right, looks like some old school derby start right now as everybody's up at the pivot line. And, of course, as the announcer curse, as soon as you say it, it will change.
Yep. Well, having a little momentum as the whistle blows, sometimes useful. Oh, huge hit from number 23. Magnitude adjustment on the New York Jammer, who was trying for that inside track.
Slammed the door closed
Yeah.
as she came into the air.
Great recovery, but it gave Michigan the time necessary to get McDonald out front. Lead Jammer, McDonald. And I believe this is the first lead jammer Michigan's actually had this game because of penalties and whatnot.
Yeah. McDonald did start this game out, was not effectual in the first one, and so now, less than 40 seconds later, has 4 points on the board. Nice try right there. Magnitude adjustment, trying to do the sniper shot on She Devil, is not able to do it. And McDonald is taken to the outside and put hands on hips to call that one off.
Yep. She Devil was putting the pressure on, grabbed the 4 and called it. Brings us to 9-23 with Michigan on top. Yeah, that was a carbon copy of the first jam, those two. And Fifi coming back to the line, 21-25 for New York.
And Michigan will be fielding the number 2, To Be Frank.
Fifi coming to us out of Rock City, Rochester.
Jam
Whoa.
is on. Fifi
Okay.
heard the whistle and went for it.
Yeah, I did not hear the whistle, and I have a feeling nobody else did either, huh?
Well, we'll have to see how this one plays out. To Be Frank is out in the clean air, mixing things up. Fifi is getting rocked. A couple of big hits right there. Will cause her to recycle, and Michigan, wasting no time, will go through and power through and get 4. Ooh, we do have a 2-minute jam coming up as Fifi is going to be visiting the penalty box.
Yeah, lost the lead. Didn't catch the penalty call, but I believe this is the third jammer penalty for Fifi in only 5 jams.
That does not bode well for the rest of the game.
It does not.
To Be Frank is going to also be picking up a penalty. This one will be a track cut. We are able to actually see this one this time.
And our second rotating jammer penalty of the game here. And again, in only 5 jams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jammer penalties in 5 jams, folks.
So jammer penalties may have a huge effect on this game. We'll have to see how it plays out. Maybe they'll start to calm it down.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how much that happy coffee affects them.
Sometimes I feel like the jammers have to get a feel for how the refs are calling things and adjust their play accordingly. As you know, down the middle as refs try to be, certain crews call more things than others, and that can affect, especially the beginning of a game, how things are shaken out.
Right, you are. And the thing is it's happening to both jammers.
Yeah,
so both of the refs are calling it evenly or are just being aggressive towards one thing, but there it is. But To Be Frank is through, picks up 4.
Direction to gameplay penalty assessed to one of the Michigan blockers.
That Michigan blocker is Carrie Finn Purcell.
Nice hit there from Salt in Your Wound. Fifi knocked to the inside, headed to the box, or just
heading out.
Headed out. Yeah, okay, all right.
Just that was a lazy exit right there.
That really was.
2 additional points going up for New York, so an 8-6 jam in favor of Michigan right there. 33-15 with right at 19:38 left to play. New York will be fielding Switchcraft, and Michigan will be fielding the 08 of Gilbro Swaggins. Looks like we do have a couple extra points right at the end as Team Michigan picked up 2 for a total of 10 in that last jam.
All right, Switchcraft grabbing lead. Toot sweet. New York definitely a lead in lead jams, but the scoreboard is not showing that with the 20-point differential right now. Of course, they've lost a few of those lead jams to penalties, so...
Gilbro held up in the front. I can see her head is out in clean air, but great recycling effort. Ooh, able to sneak around. And it is jammer by jammer as they come out of turn 3.
A little bit of a foot race here. Oh. Switch calls it after a little trip up over that tape line, but that'll happen.
I'll tell you what, though,
no harm done.
Because Switchcraft looks up smiling and goes,
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice. And starts,
knows what they did.
So a +4 for New York takes them to 19 over Michigan 35. No, but that's what you like to see in Derby. You see those hits like that, and everybody's like, yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah, that was me. All right, She-Devil back on the line for New York, 063.
And we've got Jawbreaker Jose for Team Michigan. Jawbreaker Jose clearing their own path up in front. What
a layout.
Val.
That was Kill Valentine, team captain, coming to us from Gotham, and Val is no joke.
Yeah, well, Jawbreaker Jose is a powerful jammer. I've also seen them jam, but they just don't do it. They're less of a blocker and more of a jammer. But they're kind of on their own and able to kind of clear it themselves. Irish coming up and starting to mix things up a little bit. Oy will fall back and become the bridge. Jawbreaker Jose is on their own.
Yeah, New York control of the front right now. Where's the Brutal organizing that defense? Michigan moving up to try to break things up. That's number 14, Oy. She-Devil knocked out by number 23. Huge hit by Mattitude Adjustment.
I think Mattitude Adjustment's going to be the one to watch. A couple big takedowns from Mattitude Adjustment already in this game.
Really a swirling melee up there. Walls broken up all over the place. Both jammers fighting for position as the walls consolidate around them.
And Mattitude Adjustment, the pivot, quickly trying to run up to the front. Of course, they can't hear us out here, so we can say it. It's a star pass as Mattitude Adjustment has star in hand.
Mattitude Adjustment taking that star. Second star pass for Michigan. And She-Devil is through on their initial pass now.
And Mattitude Adjustment does finally have star on ahead, and She-Devil tries to call it off, but they are not lead.
Not
We're gonna
lead.
Go the full ride on this one.
Yeah, no lead on this jam. I'm not sure why She-Devil wasn't. Did they stash the star and I missed it?
I may have. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention to that when I was watching Jawbreaker Jose have themselves handed to themselves.
Yeah, well, anyway, it's another 2-minute jam. And that's the fourth no-lead jam we've had in 7 jams.
All right, now New York was able to capitalize on that in some capacity, reducing Michigan's advance by just 1. Michigan with 4, New York with 3. That takes us 39-22 with just about 16 minutes left to play.
Yeah, a lot of long jams here. Only 7. This is the 8th jam in after 15 minutes. Those 2-minute jams are taking a toll.
All right, we've got a official timeout being called right now. This, of course, is going to be provided to us by 888 and 187. This Pause in the Bout is brought to you by those two. We're thankful for all of their efforts. You talk about how few jams we have going on right here. Yesterday, I kid you not, I was part of a call where it was 26 jams in 1 half.
Yowza. All right. Yeah, sometimes it goes exactly the other way. You get a bunch of sub-30-second jams. I've seen it happen many Gotham games very, very quick like that.
Yeah, get out there, get 4, and
Yep.
done. That was it, too. But it was a Team Indigenous playing, and they were, every time they went out, it was just 4 points done. 4
Lightning
points done,
fast,
4
yeah.
points done.
Yep.
And then things started getting carried away because it was 12 points done, 12 points done.
Oh, that's a whole nother deal. All right, Switchcraft starting in a power start. Did not catch that, but number 23 sitting out the first 30 seconds of this jam in a power start. Switch is 3 for 3 on getting lead jammer, although they did lose one to a penalty in the second jam.
Switchcraft out there battling hard, getting bounced around a lot. I mean, even spinning around, getting hit from behind, like backing into other skaters. But hard fought. They are out there. 4 points for New York. We are back up to full strength as attitude adjustment comes in and makes contact with that New York wall.
And a bit of a melee up there in front right now. Switchcraft trying to push their way through on the inside. Interesting, it seemed like there was an inside track wide open for them, but they know better than I do.
It's just a maelstrom up there.
Yeah.
It's just a swirling blue and white cacophony.
And purple, and purple. All right, switches through now. That's 4 on the board for New York. And skating hard after them is Attitude. Stashing that star, but did not end up handing it off. Michigan controlling the front of the pack, and Switch calls it off after grabbing 2 points. Total of 8 points showing on the board. I'm not so sure about that. We'll see if there's any adjustments.
It is 10. 10
There you
points
go.
on the board for New York.
That makes more sense. 32 to 37 now.
You talked a moment ago about
39.
Team New York. Ultimate colors are typically purple.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, I mean, it's white here,
Yep.
and there's a smidge of purple,
yeah,
but
no, I see it now.
certainly the fact that I'm wearing purple today is a mere coincidence.
That's right. We're supposed to be as neutral as possible.
As neutral as those refs, I'm sure, right?
That's right. So my denim outfit, nothing to do with me, Michigan.
All right, all right.
Nor will the pink shirt that
We're
I'll be
not
wearing
on
later.
camera here. The less said, the better.
No, I definitely called a game one time, and it was royal blue. I'm sorry, it was navy blue versus royal purple.
Yowza.
And the teams were the Cake Smashers versus the Party Crashers.
Oh,
That
my
game
Lord.
took forever.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun for the refs, for the announcers. Hell, maybe for the players. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that was definitely a smaller up-and-coming league, and I walked in and I
Yeah.
was like, I'm sorry, no.
Who did what now?
All right, so Michigan's timeout is now been burned, and they're going to be fielding McDonald.
And we got Jag and her first Jammer appearance
All right.
coming to us from Rock City Roller Derby, Rochester, New York.
McDonald is up in front, one to go, is able to spin around on the inside of turn one, picking up lead jammer for Team Michigan.
Only the second lead jam for Michigan thus far this game.
Wow.
And they're still managing to be this far ahead in points. Very impressive. Knocked to the inside now by Little Orphan Slammy, coming to us via Gotham Juniors.
And McDonald has clean air, but is going to be sniped right there. Out of play is called. They got to let her go.
Yep.
McDonald is able to put up 4.
Got a piece of her. Maybe a little out in front, but sometimes the refs are merciful. Sweets now taking the star.
Yeah, but Sweets is now paired up against Racer McChaser, escorted to the outside, but is able to come in. No pass, no penalty on that one. But Sweets is out in front, ready to start applying the pressure. McDonald in the back of the pack still. Looks back, sees Sweets coming. Hands on hips, will call that one off.
Good heads-up derby there. 32 to 43, Michigan in the lead.
Just under 13 minutes left to play. And I believe we're going to see the return of Nesquik for Michigan up against She-Devil for New York. Happy penalty box is now void. Nobody is in there, so it's a full 5-on-5 on the track.
80 wheels a clattering. Is that Jilbo Swaggins out there? Is that is the board lying to me?
The board is lying because it is 8
There we go.
Is
All right.
Nesquik. 08 is Jill Broswagans.
That'll do it. That'll
And
do
then
it.
08 Kraken from I don't know who just screaming by us, and now we're really confused.
Fighting for that lead, and looks like Michigan lost the blocker.
Javelin and Arnie, the last points of contact. The She-Devil is out. Lead Jammer, New York.
Just about clotheslined her on the way through the front of that pack, but she's little. She ducked right underneath it.
And I whoop.
Yep.
So Nesquik is out, ready to start applying the pressure, but She-Devil is through, has got the points, and that one will be called. And New York inches ever closer to that Michigan lead.
Yeah. Michigan
44.
has maintained this lead right through since the second jam, but New York has been threatening the whole time.
Now we're going to see Jill Broswagans up against,
There we go.
I believe that is going to be Switchcraft out there
Yep,
for New York.
110.
Now, Jill Broswagans actually is an Olympic-level competitor at speed skating.
Whoa.
Yeah, she
All right.
actually was out there for, what were the ones in Russia? Sochi.
Yep, that's right. Oh, big hit from 333.
That is going to be Carrie Finn Purcella,
Very good.
formerly known as Cookie Rumble so many years ago.
All right. And now Switchcraft is through. But Jilbo is working hard at the front right now. Two wall to get by, knocked to the inside. She's going to be recycled. She's going to call it off rather than recycle. Did Switch get in time? I don't think so.
No, I'm seeing 0.
All right.
Yeah, but Team Michigan was able to capitalize on that one with a 3-point run as we inch ever closer to 10 minutes left in this first half.
And only 12 jams in. We haven't had a 2-minute jam for a couple of minutes at least, but
All right, I think we're going to see Jag, and Jag is going to be paired up against Jawbreaker Jose.
Jag, another Rock City skater.
Yeah, Jawbreaker Jose, who's skating out of Lakeshore, Tulip City All-Stars, and DMRD. Out there already getting some points on the board. Dives into the inside, gets rocked around, pushed around. Meanwhile, in the back, Jag, and we've got a star pass.
Star pass going to Rocky Bonobo out of Gotham, number 7.
A lot of bodies hitting the floor on the inside of turn 2, and the Jammer will take their initiative and call that one off, resulting in a 3-point jam for Michigan.
Yeah, Rocky putting some good pressure on, forcing that call off. Our score is 36-50 with Michigan maintaining the lead. She-Devil coming up to the line for New York.
And we've got number 2. That is going to be 2B Frank. Now,
No.
2B Frank is out of Flint. I don't have a lot of interaction with Flint, but they are ever so close. Less than an hour from here, actually.
All right. No penalties being served. 2B Frank off the line and into the lead. 4 leads in a row for Michigan.
Oh, wow. The pendulum might be starting to swing
Yeah.
a little bit their way.
Hasn't been a ton of movement in the points during that. New York has done an okay job in keeping the point bleed low, even though they're not getting lead.
2B Frank tried to find a way through on the inside. That was going to be closed right down. Has to recycle back around. Meanwhile, up in front, still seeing the She-Devil having some difficulty getting past that wall of blue, but it is all 4 blockers for Team Michigan.
They're
holding
all
her
up
down.
there. Yeah, New York right now controlling the back of the pack. Both teams really coalescing. Not a lot of offense being played by either side right now, as defense is just coalescing. Actually, I see is that
Mattitude
Racer?
adjustment. No, it's Mattitude
Mattitude.
adjustment. Yeah, Mattitude adjustment came into the back, trying to mix things up a little bit. We see some bridging attempt. No, unfortunately, we are going to be losing Carrie Finn Purcella.
Forearm being called on. I see 2 Michigan. Actually, I see the Michigan Jammer. Oh, they're being recycled. Looks like they were headed to the box from that angle. Val up in the front trying to break things up, and coming from downtown, 2B Frank. Grabbing 4. Oh, what a hit on the inside there. Knocking She-Devil in, recycling her back.
Oh, tried to get through the elevator after it closed. 2B Frank was sealed off on the outside edge.
Yeah, Kill Valentine there to meet her, along with Aaron Watershow, 2 Gotham alums. Well, alums, current skaters, I should say. Knocked again to the outside now as the penalty box empties out.
All right, penalty box is now clear. We're full 5-on-5.
Star pass going to 09 there. That's Kill Valentine, team captain and pivot. And I don't know if it was that pressure or not, but Michigan calls it off, getting 3 points on that pass for a total of 7.
All right, New York will be fielding Switchcraft paired up against Nesquik.
Nestcraft.
A quick switch.
There you go. Either way. Let's see. We have seen this lineup before. Oh, we haven't actually. First time for this. I was looking at 08, not number 8. Slightly different. Switchcraft knocked to the inside, able to lever their way back up on the elbow. Great technique. Keeping the skates inside. Switchcraft around the outside.
Nesquik having some difficulty. Usually, a diminutive skater, very smart, very athletic, and able, but New York seems to be able to switch to shut them down pretty well. And Jay Sandin with a little bit of a tap right there. I thought for sure that was going to send Switchcraft to the inside, but it did not.
Switch very, very conscious of where their skates are, able to keep those skates inside, even if they're using other parts of their body to lever their way back in. And it's a power jam as Nesquik is going to the box. Did you catch that call, Handlebar?
No, I missed that one completely, as I was fascinated watching Switchcraft not fall to the inside.
Yeah, very good at that. Nesquik sitting out 30 as Switchcraft comes back around. 8 on the board, and now it's 12. 12 will be the biggest jam of the game thus far. No, there was a 16-point jam by Michigan in the second jam.
And with only 42 seconds left in this jam, we'll have to see how much they are.
Oh, wide open on the inside. Switchcraft, great pack awareness, cuts to the inside and grabs it. Now Nesquik is out of the box, and it's a foot race around here. Nesquik has completed the initial pass.
Now, you were talking about a 16-point jam before. Going into the pack right now with 16, Switchcraft is already putting points on the board. I see hips passed already.
Yeah, hips passed. At least 1, maybe 2 points by Switchcraft thus far. Nesquik up front there, breaks through, and I think that's 4. Yes. Switch is going to call it, or was that a full 2?
I believe that was a 2-minute jam.
And we'll see if Switch got any points there at the end. I think so, but I can't quite see the ref's fingers.
0.
No, it looks like a 0, so just 16 points. 52-61.
Believe we've got an official timeout being called, maybe?
Possibly. Maybe to adjust those points, but maybe not. Anyway, one way or the other. McDonald going to be taking on Fifi here. And this break and play brought to you by 888 and 187 Killer Pads.
Clock is held at 4:29. Just 9 points separating these two teams as we enter 30 seconds of official timeout.
Official review being called now. Brought by New York. We'll see if that is... Well, we'll see what that's regarding. You wanna go in the middle and see what you can get for us?
I'll walk into the middle. I'm hoping it's those 2 points that you and I saw.
Well, it might be, or I might have been wrong.
Could be
we'll see.
Completely different. We'll have to see. All right, I'll be right back.
Sounds good. During this break, I'm going to tell you all about Roller Bones, except I won't because I don't have any copy. But you all know Roller Bones. Great bearings. Check out Roller Bones. They are our Track 3 sponsor, and we're not Track 3. So let's talk about Rydell, another group you know about, even though they provided us with 0 copy. Rydell skates. You know them, you love them. You've probably been skating on them since day one. Rydell, the Track 2 sponsor for Skate Wars. If you are not here in Lansing, Michigan, you are missing a great tournament. It really has been an awesome weekend. It's a single elimination challenge with a nice consolation bracket as well, so everybody gets to keep playing, and we do end up with final seeds. Handlebars back for the middle. What do we got?
All right, so it looks like New York is actually looking to contest the 4 points by Nesquik, determining that they are under the impression that should have been the initial pass for Nesquik, not a scoring pass.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure about that. They were waved off right after breaking through the pack, I believe. So I'm not sure if that counted the initial pass or not. We'll leave it to the refs to decide.
Yeah, I believe what I heard was that they're actually going to go to the scoreboard and double check to make sure the initial pass had been done. So that was going to be their check on that one. So it always depends on those in the stripe. And once the dazzle breaks up, we'll know for sure.
There you go. I will say, if the official review is retained, that is a record that I've ever seen. 2 official reviews retained. Actually, is it retained after the second one?
I'm not even certain.
I've never seen it.
I know it goes from a dot to a plus.
Right.
And so New York went into those as a plus. It could, I believe, every time you do an official review, I don't know. I've never seen 2. Now, such a tight game, 4 points at this point. I mean, like I was saying before, it was 9 points separating these 2 teams. That could make it a 5-point game.
Now, the winner of this goes on to the semifinal against either Texas or Black Diaspora, which, that's going to be a great game one way or the other, no matter which of these teams goes out. Or no matter which of those teams goes out. All right, and it looks like I'm not seeing any movement on the point. So I assume that New York lost that review.
Yeah, looking over, the review is gone, so we'll never know.
Yeah.
If only there was a rule book we could go to determine if you lose it after the second or not.
All right, McDonald and She-Devil for their respective teams right now.
McDonald up in front, 2 to go still, as she just keeps powering through.
Yeah, Pinky up there in front doing yeoman work, just holding things back. Good defense by New York, but unable to hold McDonald back forever. The hammer from Queen City, that's Buffalo, New York, up there as well. Just the other side of Canada.
Yep. McDonald rocket back to the back of the pack, has to be recycled in. Meanwhile, She-Devil having some difficulty. Again, Michigan Wall just holding right there. We've got Carrie Finn Purcell just putting the ham down. Fracture Mechanics with the helm as well, alongside Price as well as the point. And stepping over She-Devil, who's bridging the inside and the outside. Carrie Finn Purcell.
Yeah, star stash, but Val in no position to receive the star right now. Pivot working on defense rather than offense. Breaks through to the front and grabs it. Must have heard me talking about her. Val taking the star for New York. And that pressure will cause McDonald to call it off.
And it now looks like Team Michigan is going to have an official review as well. And that will stop the clock at 3:03.
All right.
And this pause in the bout is brought to you by 888 and 187 Killer Pads.
I did Sacred. You can do that one again.
Do want to take a quick moment to talk about Tashmika Torok is a queer black woman who centers her work around connecting dope-ass people to liberatory ideas so that we can all get free. As a healing justice consultant, abolitionist, and survivor activist, Tashmika is cultivating her community's ability to imagine, build, and maintain ways to intervene in acts of violence without relying on police, prisons, or other state institutions as a path towards ending state-sanctioned violence against black and brown people. When Tashmika is not visioning, cultivating, and facilitating her own heart work, she is raising the free people in her home, playing in her garden, helping leaders who build their own dreams, and teaching and modeling how to create safer places for all. For an inside look at what she's growing in her garden and in her work, visit tashmikatorok.com. That is TASHMICATOROK.com.
Run to the middle of the pick. Sorry about that.
We want to thank one of our equipment sponsors for the weekend, Modern. No copy provided, but Modern, thank you very much for helping sponsor Skate Wars here in Lansing, Michigan. Handlebar is in the middle right now getting the lowdown on the official review called by Michigan. 3:03 on the board, 52-65 with Michigan in the lead. Thus far, it has been very close. We've had a number of non-lead jams. So although we had 16 jams, right now New York has 7 leads to Michigan's 6. And we've had 2 jams with no leads. A lot of jammer penalties as we started things off. Things have definitely cleaned up in the second half of the first half of this game.
Well, I just got a special visit from Michigan's coach, and I found out that they're looking for a misconduct call on possible wrong.
Michigan is looking for a misconduct call, is what I'm hearing from the house announcers. So handlebars coming this way. We'll get a little bit more on that in a moment.
On the other hand, was terrific information.
That would be shortening to the penalty box or an egregious act of.
Spot, I love you.
They're trying to figure out if it actually has any impact, is it any issue?
Got it.
We're going to have to see how that one was going to be called. The nickel version is a New York skater is being questioned as to whether or not they skated into or out of an illegal area, essentially through Michigan's bench on their way to the penalty box, and if that has any impact or if that is just a we shouldn't do that in the future.
Yeah. I think that probably would count under in the general basket of misconduct in terms of penalty types. Maybe not gross misconduct, but nothing ejectable, just a standard penalty, one would hope. But let's find out. The box is right there on the way. I'm sorry, the the bench is right on the way to the box, so I can certainly see how that might happen. And it looks like they're discussing things with New York right now. As we start things off, each team has one in the box. One blocker, that is.
The early call on this one, at least the one wearing the star at this point, is Switchcraft for New York.
Oh, all right. So the call is retained as Michigan gets an additional penalty assessed. And are they sitting a team captain? It looks like, I think that's Val sitting over there now. So, yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, Switchcraft gets it with a quickness there, jamming for New York against Gilbo Swaggins, 08. Both of them out of that pack very quickly, though.
Right you are. Oh, Switchcraft comes in, makes contact, takes 2 knees, picks up the 2 points. We'll call that off as Gilbo Swaggins was hot on the trail.
Real quick jam, less than 30 seconds on that one, brings us at 54-65, 11-point game.
11 points going into the half. We'll have to see if Fifi is able to shorten up that lead or if the jammer from Michigan, that of course is Jawbreaker Jose, can extend that lead a little bit, give them a little bit of breathing room as they go into the second half of this game.
Probably time for 2 more jams, maybe 3, depending if we have another quick one like that. Jawbreaker Jose working their way up the middle, cuts to the inside, knocks off a Pinky Swears and breaks through. Lead jammer, Jawbreaker Jose.
So are we starting to see a little bit more even coordination between lead jams on both sides?
Yeah. Fifi actually sitting a penalty. My eyes were on Jose, and I missed the penalty.
I did as well. You know what? We'll have to take a look during halftime and see what we've got. 4 penalties and who's kind of in trouble or not. Because
well, I mean, Fifi is definitely in trouble. I'm counting at least 4 jammer penalties on Fifi right now. Very unofficial stat keeping, however. Jawbreaker Jose with 8 and counting on the 3rd scoring pass. Fifi is out of the box and has re-entered. New York controlling the front of the pack right now.
Price is the pullback on Fifi. Jawbreaker Jose goes to the inside, is able to swing back through.
Yeah.
Finds just enough clean space on the inside, is able to recycle back in, picking up 4 in the process.
Great job by Michigan there in limiting the damage done by that recycle. Thank you. Kill Valentine, now your jammer of record as she takes the star.
Ooh, Jawbreaker Jose getting rocked there by the 18, the hammer.
With less than 40 seconds left on the period clock, I assume this will be the last jam coming up. 12 points picked up by Michigan brings us to 54-77.
Unfortunately, the hammer did pick up a direction of gameplay on that one. So they are going to spend the next 30 seconds thinking about that. Well, essentially, they will start the next game in the penalty box.
Yep. To be frank, going up against Jag right now.
Fair lineup between these two. To be frank, locked up in the back. Actually, both jammers having some difficulty getting through the back right here. Seems like it's either right away or it's hard fought in the back straight. But here it is. Switchcraft is through, your lead jammer for New York.
Yeah, Switchcraft, not Jag. Sorry about that. And to be frank, following them right out of the pack, putting the pressure on. Switchcraft looks like they're going to hit it and quit it. Yes, indeed. Was it in time? I see 2 points for New York.
1 going up for Michigan.
Yeah, that's the half.
All right, score as we go into the half. Team Michigan is at 80. Team New York is 56. And we've got about 10 minutes, so we're going to set the microphones down here just a few, rest our voices, and we'll come back here to give you the second half of this great game.
Yeah, so we can... All right. We are back. This is Mo Cheesemo talking at you here. Handle Barbarian sitting next to me. Less than 30 seconds to go before we start the second half of this game. Some quick stats for you here. Very unofficial stats by Mo Cheesemo. High scorer for Michigan right now is 9-2-2. That's Jawbreaker Jose with 21 points by my count. High scorer for New York, 29 points by Switchcraft. Switchcraft currently 4 for 6 on leads, and Jawbreaker 2 for 4 on leads. In terms of number of leads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've had 9 for New York versus 7 for Michigan. So Michigan, even though they've gotten less leads, again, by my very unofficial count, has managed to pull a reasonable lead out.
Yeah, it's not the number, it's what you do with them, apparently.
There you go.
All right, so that last jam did end up being a 2-2. Again, quick recap. New York score is at 56. Michigan is now at 81. And if I'm looking over at the line right now, jammer line, we have McDonald, number 32, paired up against the, what is that, 119?
110, that's Switchcraft.
110 is Switchcraft.
And an indeterminate amount of time on the scoreboard before we begin, but it should be any second now. And we have 1 penalty standing in the box for New York as we start off the second half.
All right, I believe that was the whistle for collection. We'll have to wait for the official 5 seconds.
Looks like Michigan enjoyed 4 power jams during the first half,
Ooh.
and New York 3, again by my very unofficial starts, and we are go.
Right you are. McDonald comes around to the outside, gets shoveled just a bit, has to cycle back in, and Switchcraft still locked up in the back.
Yeah, very tight pack start here. Not even up to the pivot line quite yet. McDonald breaking loose a little bit. Sweets there to block her along with Pinky Swears up front. Big hit by the hammer. Switchcraft has enough time to break through and get lead.
I was going to say, I'm going to give credit to the hammer on that one, holding McDonald long enough for.
Sometimes that 1 or 2 seconds is all you need.
Yeah.
Switchcraft hops to the inside and calls it. Might have been a point.
Michigan was not able to capitalize, waiting for it. Three additional roller derby points going up for New York.
All right. Oh, using the sneaky thumb there. I see.
I know that jammer ref. That's a comment
That's
for
fair.
them. So less than a minute later, we are lined back up and ready to go. I see Jawbreaker Jose.
And that is She-Devil for New York. Another very tight start. 1 sitting for Michigan right now.
An inversion of that original pack that we saw when we started.
Yep.
And just like that, we're going to be losing 1 from New York, so it is a 3-on-3 as it stands.
She-Devil saw an opening on the outside. Michigan saw the same opening, but it was gone as fast as it appeared.
Yeah, She-Devil tried to cycle around to the outside, but Racer McChaser was there to slow her down. Now we've got Carrie Finn Purcell. Pushing around, and Irish gets a hand on it.
She-Devil caught up by the pivot. Now joined in a 2-wall, bridging out front. Great defense by Michigan.
Michigan down a jammer as Jawbreaker Jose serves a term. Did not see the call on that one. Jawbreaker is standing, so there's less than 10 seconds. Slamlet comes back, and they are not going to make the call on that.
Great penalty kill by Michigan here. Now She-Devil is out, but that is a track cut. Rotating jammer penalties put She-Devil in there. Michigan still has to complete their initial pass. And that's the initial on that.
So Jawbreaker Jose is out there ready to start putting some points down. You can see the speed coming around turn 2. Comes in the inside, dives to the out. And does get held down by a wall of New York air in turn 4.
Jose and She-Devil, kind of similar skating styles to some degree. Very agile out there and able to get very low.
I was going to say that is a good matchup, good pairing between those two.
Yeah. Oh, what a hit.
We are going to go the full ride on this one, but
Yeah.
there's only about 9 seconds left on that. And you can see everybody starting to slow down as 2 minutes of gameplay really does take it out of you.
Yeah, a lot of bridging going on here. We have a 2-wall up front by New York, able to hold back Jawbreaker for long enough and only pull 2 points on that final pass. So a 6-point jam for Michigan.
That'll take Michigan to 87, New York 59. Good low score so far in this game.
Yeah, Michigan looking to carry this away. Obviously the hometown favorites, but New York coming in hot. We'll see what they could do in this second half. They have not been in the lead since the very first jam when they broke it with 4 points. Switchcraft on the line.
Paired up against Gilbro Swaggins for Michigan.
Short rest for Switch right now. Jammed in the first jam, jamming again in the third. But right now, 5 for 7 on gaining lead jam. Oh, one less now as Michigan takes that one. Gilbro Swaggins, your lead jammer.
I believe that call for the penalty added just enough chaos for Gilbro Swaggins to push through. But it's exactly what it is, right? You wait for those moments where you got just a split second, and then you use your skills and abilities to stay upright and inbounds as you come through on the inside, picking up 4 for your team.
Yeah, the Hammer throwing a swing and getting a piece of Gilbro, but not enough to slow her down for long. She's already back around and re-entered the pack.
The Hammer again trying to pin her down, cannot do it. Gilbro is through, picks up 4 more.
Switch having a hard time of it there on the outside, knocked to the outside, recycled back.
Ooh.
And it speaks to the defense being thrown by Michigan. It's hard to hold Switch back like this. Michigan with a very tight defense. Gilbro's through again. 12-point run and counting. And I think there's been a star pass on New York side. Going to Sweets, our Ithaca skater. Ithaca from the Finger Lakes region in New York. Star pass to Sweets, and Sweets is through.
Michigan is down by 1 blocker, but that is Fracture Mechanics.
Gilbro going to call it as Sweets closing the gap in the backfield, and they did it in time. Picked up 2 additional points for a 12. I think that's a 14-point jam, breaking the century mark.
That's right. At 24-30, Michigan has 101. New York is back at 59. That means New York has been held scoreless the last 2. Last time they scored was just 3 at the opening volley when we started this first half.
That's right. Michigan putting up 20 points in the last 2 jams. And Jag coming to the line now for New York, at least according to the scoreboard.
I'm seeing the number 2,
Frank.
To be Frank out there as well.
And that is Jag breaking through for lead.
Yeah, tried to get through on the inside, and Racer McTracer tried to close the door, was not able to do it. Now the attention goes back as we're going to be losing Fracture Mechanics again to the penalty box. And
Jag.
To be Frank is taking some time also.
Kind of a reserve jammer for New York, only appearing in 2 jams in the first half by my count. But coming in looking strong in this second half. To be Frank now completed their initial pass. Jag caught up behind a Michigan wall. Will they call it? And they do. Was it in time? No.
Yeah, so Jag was outside, called it off. Was not called, I would say, right away, but I don't think that would have affected what Michigan would have done.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any points put up by Michigan, so it might have just been a slightly late whistle. Yeah, I don't think the refs are awarding any points to Michigan, so 3 points to New York, unreturned by Michigan there.
Nothing like those unrequited points.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the whistle comes a little bit later than you expect, but the refs are on top of it, of course. We got She-Devil, we got McDonald for their teams, and the whistle's already blown.
Yeah, She-Devil trying to stay upright and inbounds by pulling on Rocky, but is not able to do so. He'll have to cycle back around. Meanwhile, McDonald up in front, but 1 to go. Out of play is called. I think they had to let her go. McDonald is your lead jammer for Team Michigan.
She-Devil almost through on the outside. Number 62, Fracture, there to meet her. Wilfred
is-
Slammy trying to chase down Michigan's McDonald. Yep, that's right. Donald.
And McDonald again making their way through cleanly through the pack. I would say almost unprotested, but there was a lot of movement back and forth to avoid the blockers of New York. Now New York feels like they're more ready, but it's going to be the 0-0 of Mangler. Mangler, I was going to give credit on the points for that one, clearing a path on the outside, and that allowed McDonald through. They got 12 so far in this jam.
New York with a star pass going to Sweets at this point. Sweets back in, putting up points for New York. McDonald has not yet called it off. And a forearm call going to Michigan's McDonald. Going to be sitting this out, which puts a power jam on Sweets. A non-lead power jam for New York. 30 seconds left in this jam.
Yeah, we're going to go the full one as McDonald has lost the lead.
Already put up 12 points. 4 now for New York. Sweets taking her Sweets time coming around the back there. It was a hard-fought trip through that pack. I can certainly understand why you need a breather after that. And that's 2 minutes.
All right, so we went the full ride on that one, and McDonald was released at the end. Now, New York has called a timeout, and that will freeze the clock at 20 minutes and 30 seconds. Quick score update on that last one. I believe it is going to be 12-6
Yep.
on that last pass. New York picking up 6. Michigan, 113. New York at 68.
And we'll try to get you some information on the official review. New York, of course, with 2 official reviews in the first half.
And this pause on the bout is brought to us by 888 and 187 Killer Pads. Now, we are coming to you live from the Rydell track number 2.
Rydell, you know him, you love him. You've been skating on him since day one.
That's right, you have.
That's a free copy for Mo Chismo, Rydell. Next time, write your own. All right, New York 68, Michigan 113. I don't have any further information for you on that right now.
It appears when we get back and underway, we've already got Joe Broswagens wearing the star for Michigan. And we'll be joined by Switchcraft.
Now, it's hard to see on the scoreboard. It looks like I see the dot for New York's review. Maybe they
there.
retained it. Not sure, but I don't see any penalties being sat, so I kind of doubt it.
Either way, we are back and underway with Joe Broswagens and Switchcraft at the helm. Switchcraft, big open space on the inside. You can see, oh, what an attempt right there.
Absorbed that hit and kept on going. Nice pirouette. Michigan disturbing the pack refs a little bit.
Tell you what, though, that was hard fought. Mattitude adjustment definitely tried to get out there and snipes. New York is going to be losing 1 blocker, but Switchcraft is through, putting points on the board.
2 blockers as Jerk Beefy heads to the box as well. Abbreviated pack for New York. Switch. Almost kept those skates legal, but decides to call it off. Does not land the apex jump, so we're going to be stuck at 4 points for New York on return by Michigan.
Yeah, that's going to be Blue-Eyed Bruiser who was out there putting the hit down. That will force the call off as Joe Broswagens was coming around the corner hot.
8 points for New York. My mistake. And still 2 sitting in the box for New York as we start things off. That's going to be a hard start for Jag.
But we'll have to see if To Be Frank is able to capitalize on this one. You can see already in motion as 5 seconds is called. To Be Frank. Ooh, closed down on the inside. Is able to squeeze around on the outside of the pack.
Yeah, lack of personnel definitely hurting New York on that block. They were there on the inside, but you can't cover the whole track with 2 people.
Ooh, To Be Frank takes a hit and slides out almost into the pivot line.
Star pass by New York. Jag handed the star off to the pivot. Still caught up in the pack right now. play a D with star in hand, it looks like to me. Yeah, maybe the star did not get past. My mistake.
You know, and this is one of the things that we saw in the first game that I called over on track number 1.
There we go. There's the pass.
We have jammers who are able to get out and get the lead, but they just aren't putting the points down afterwards. To be frank, it's going to be that situation right here. Can cleanly get out there, get out in front.
The hammer really coming down there, putting the pressure on, forcing the call off by 2B Frank. Frank picking up 3 points on that.
So that is a hard-fought 3 points there for Team Michigan. That'll take them to 116 over to 76.
Already down to 18 minutes in this contest, the second half of this contest.
Michigan fielding Jawbreaker Jose up against She Devil. Whistle is blown. We are underway. And I think Jawbreaker Jose was able to use a little bit of that chaos. And I believe we're going to get a low block call there on the 09 Val.
All right. Cut to the inside. Skates on the inside, but got the nod from the ref. So able to keep continuing. Jawbreaker Jose is your lead. She Devil out of the pack right now as well. Working hard. And, Michigan going to call that one off with a quickness. Picking up a quick 4 in less than 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, you are. Just about 17 minutes left to play when we get started back up. And at the helm will be McDonald for Team Michigan. And a confirmation, it is going to be Switchcraft for New York. Looking over at the happy penalty box, we've got one down. I believe that was that low block from the earlier.
Yeah, I believe you're right. McDonald going up against Switchcraft. Reset of the first jam of this half.
And Switchcraft is pushing through on the middle of the pack, picking up a lead jammer for New York.
Switchcraft 7 for 9 right now on lead jams.
All right.
Great average, but hasn't quite translated into a lead for New York. There's 4 more points towards it, however. Switchcraft coming around, coming in hot.
Yeah, Michigan is down. McDonald is in the penalty box, and we've got one for New York as a blocker.
Switchcraft knocked to the inside there. Pinky bringing her back to the back. Great job of killing the penalty by Michigan now. Switchcraft knocked to the inside.
McDonald leaving a wake of bodies as they go through the middle of the pack. Gets out in front. Out of play is called. They have to let her go, so she is able to do so.
Switchcraft looking to call it. Might have called it a few seconds ago as McDonald was coming in hot, but able to call it in time. Switch got a couple of points on that pass, I believe.
2.
Yep. 2's a couple, so my girlfriend tells me. 6-0 on that jam, 82 to 120.
I'm looking over. I see Joe Bro Swaggins lined up against She Devil.
She Devil back on short rest. New York really kind of tightening up their jammer rotation to essentially those 2 jammers, Switch and She Devil, with occasional entry by Jag. And we haven't seen Fifi so much. I'm guessing that's because of penalties. I did not check the penalties during the half, but at least 4 jammer penalties. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 4 jammer penalties on Fifi. I was correct.
Yeah, 2 forearm and 2 track cut. That's not going to help until the end of the game. Maybe they're holding off and they'll bring her back around to the second half.
Yeah.
Or it's too much of an issue. We can't have those kinds of swings. Either way, Joe Bro Swaggins is out, your lead jammer. And we're seeing some movement as She Devil. It gets pinned up on the inside and the outside.
Little bridging by Michigan here. She Devil's got a 2-wall in front.
Racer McChaser, the last point of contact, pinned down to the inside. Slamlet, as they are known most other times, but that is actually Jay Sandin. They're skating underneath.
Bridged all the way out, 20, 30 feet up front. Able to call it in time. Looks like it. 0 points for New York on that. 3 points on that pass for Michigan. Good pressure, but with only 14 minutes on the clock, New York running into a little bit of trouble now.
Yeah, it's still available, and it could be their game, but they're really going to have to start pushing hard. New York is trailing by over 40 points.
41 is over 40. That's correct.
You're not wrong if you're right.
It ain't bragging if it's true. Anyway. To be frank, on the line right now.
And official timeout being called.
One standing in the box for Michigan at the start of this jam.
And it looks like we've got the swirly whirly. Let's back at it. And New York will be fielding Jag up against To Be Frank. 5 seconds is called.
Yeah, Jag has been the sort of reserve jammer this half, subbing in with Switchcraft and She-Devil.
To Be Frank way up in the front right now, pushing out the line. We've already got bridging effect right here.
Rocky Bonobo wears a brutal up front. Great defense from these two. That's a tough wall to break.
And
Rocky headed to the box, and Fuerza Brutal cannot hold back To Be Frank on her own.
Now the attention goes back to Jag, who's still working their way through, and still not enough to hold back To Be Frank. So To Be Frank
Val taking the star for New York. 09 takes the star and goes right back to, I guess there was a penalty called there.
Yeah, it could be a legal procedure on the star.
There is a star on the track right now for New York. So maybe the illegal procedure was the pass itself, because, yeah, she definitely had the star and then dropped it.
So right now Detroit is going to be defending the star.
Now I think Jag could pick the star back up, correct?
Yes, if they can.
If they can get
the
to
star.
it. If they can get to it. That's a big if right now, as Michigan, as you said, really defending it. That's a very different game.
I was going to say, this is a totally different game when there's actually an object that you have to fight for.
It's like a ball. I've heard some sports have balls. I haven't seen it.
Nothing worth talking about here for sure. And meanwhile, To Be Frank is just running a circus on how many points they can put up.
16 points
so far.
And that ties the high jam of the game thus far.
Well, get ready to blow that one right open because it's 20 now.
20 points. Biggest jam of the game for To Be Frank or any other player. Michigan now running away with it officially.
The crowd most certainly is going to respond to a 20-point jam laid down there by To Be Frank.
Yeah, we got a 61-point game. Michigan looking tight to go up against either Black Diaspora or Texas in the next one. I believe that's later this evening.
It is later this evening. I'm not sure quite the time slot on that one, so keep your eyes open on the Lansing website on YouTube.
And Switchcraft back on the line against McDonald.
McDonald takes a little bit of a tumble right there, but is popping back up and becomes lead jammer for Michigan. Here with just about 11 minutes left to play in this second half. Blue-Eyed Bruiser and the number 23 Mattitude adjustment were the last points of contact there for Switchcraft, but not able to hold her back.
Yeah, great job of once more keeping those skates in bounds just enough. Not able to re-engage or score any points. 4 quick ones for Michigan.
Michigan +4 after all is said and done.
Yep.
When we get ready to blow the whistle, it's going to be about 10 minutes left in this second half. Looking over at the line, it is going to be Jawbreaker Jose paired up against She-Devil. And the happy penalty box is empty. So a good 5-on-5 the way it is intended.
Last time these two matched up, Jawbreaker Jose did take the lead. And the whistle has blown.
Oh, She-Devil taken down to a knee in the back. We've got a forearm call going on
404, yep.
Pack is at a standstill right at the jammer line. It's almost as if we didn't blow the whistle 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, minimal movement in there, just a lot of hard grinding, hard pushing on both sides. Knocked to the inside. Jawbreaker Jose is headed to the box.
Uh-oh.
And She-Devil breaks through. Took her 45 seconds, but lead jammer for New York now. Forearm.
Yeah, picking up a forearm penalty on that one. Trying to see through everything going on right here. She double bouncing back and forth, but essentially what it is Michigan is holding she double back.
Yeah. And Jawbreaker Jose re-enters from the box now.
Little Orphan Slammy in there trying to mix things up, trying to help she double through.
She double knocked to the inside. Probably going to have to call it. Is lead. Might be a little late. Barely in time. Was it? No. Michigan sneaks in for 2 points.
Right you are. That'll take Michigan up to 149. Now New York was able to capitalize on that one with a +2, 4 points of their own.
86 to 149 with 8.5 left to play and counting. Looks like Switchcraft back on the line for New York.
Up against Jill Bros Swaggins for Team Michigan. Switchcraft up in front. Arnie is the hold on that one. Blue-Eyed Bruiser up there helping as well. And then Mattitude adjustment. So that one's pretty much shut down when Oi joins the party. Meanwhile, on the outside, Jill Bros Swaggins is cycled back around to the back of the pack.
Yeah, nearly out, but Pinky Swears came right on in to edge her back to the back of the pack. Switchcraft pushing hard up in front, trying to require a bridge, but Michigan not giving an inch up there. Oh, sneaking around the outside. Great move by Jilbo Swaggins.
Hard fought as we are 40 seconds into this jam and finally get a lead jammer.
Yep.
I thought it was going to go to Switchcraft a number of times, but no, that wall has just locked them down.
Yeah, Michigan able to, I think, really getting Switchcraft's number now.
Hey, Oirish comes in, clears a path on the inside edge, and is able to catch Admiral Mayhem off guard. Referee struggling to keep up with Gilbreth Swaggins.
That's fair. Looks like the hammer's off to the box for New York now. Slight advantage of the pack for Michigan.
Ooh, Gilbreth Swaggins rolled the dice, went to the outside, and is going to get the call from the bench to call that one off.
Did not get any points on that last pass, only 4 points for the jam, but more than sufficient with 6:45 on the clock.
New York will be down by one blocker, 4-on-3 pack advantage for Team Michigan when we get underway.
Jag coming back to the line for New York now.
McDonald for Michigan as 6.5 minutes left to play. Passes over on the scoreboard. Jam 15 is underway.
Michigan with an early jump off the line, running into that New York three-wall up front with Fuerza Brutal, Rocky Bonobo, and Pinky Swears. And they're going to have to let her go up front. Your lead jammer is McDonald. 2 leads in a row, and that's all either team has gotten this half. It's really been back and forth. McDonald with 4.
Meanwhile, back in the pack, we can see the star in hand as they're trying to fight through. But again, it's a 3-wall of Michigan just locked down.
Yeah, Michigan defense has been just ferocious this second half.
McDonald is locked up on the inside edge. We've got Carrie Finn Purcella coming in to mix things up. Unfortunately, we've got a back block on Carrie Finn Purcella. So it is going to be a little bit of that chaos allowed McDonald through for another 4.
And a star pass going to Rocky Bonobo, number 7 for New York. That is the 5th star pass for New York this half.
Yeah, happening at the right time. We'll have to see how McDonald calls this one in. Is shoveled down to the inside. We'll call that one from the floor, but not before picking up 3 additional points.
All right. Managing to hold New York to 0 on that jam. An 11-point jam for Michigan.
All right, we are under 5 minutes left to play. 164 to 84 over New York.
New York held to only 3 points in the last 7 jams.
Wow. Okay, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And looking on the line, we've got To Be Frank coming off of a 20-point jam last time they were out. paired up against She Devil. Now, She Devil was also paired up against To Be Frank on that jam, so we'll have to see how this one plays out. To Be Frank is held into the back. I thought for sure She Devil had it, but To Be Frank is literally going to crawl their way through.
No pass, no penalty, not lead jammer. Oh, big hit. That was a skate to the chin, unintentional, obviously, from She Devil, but and She Devil pulls the star. Interesting technique. We'll see if it pays off for him. And star pass going to Val. Kill Valentine, 09 for New York, out of Gotham. Putting some pressure on. To Be Frank. Looks like they're going to skate this one out. The clock is their friend right now, so why not?
To Be Frank with a beautiful apex jump. We'll put up an additional 4. 8 so far in this jam. To Be Frank got hit and rocked the 8008. To Be Frank using a bit of that chaos, tries to sneak around on the outside, is not able to do so.
2 Michigan defenders in the box right now. New York might be able to capitalize. Kill Valentine grabbing 4 points. And it's tied up at 8-8.
All right,
no lead jammer. I thought To Be Frank was our lead, but
no, they had to crawl through, so there was no pass, no penalty on that one, so they did not pick it up. And
that was for New York. Did Michigan also crawl through?
Yes.
Very good.
And we've also got a star pass as Racer McChaser is now
there we
jammer
go. All right.
for Team Michigan.
2 star passes on that.
Racer McChaser will be spending some time in the penalty box. We'll have to see if that call was. I believe it's a back block, as I'm seeing on this.
Okay.
In front of me.
Technology.
All right. And it does look like Carrie Finn Priscilla is in a little bit of a penalty trouble, as they've got 6 right now.
Oh, boy, yeah. One on New York, Forza Brutal, who is a hard blocker and sometimes pays the price for that.
So we've got a double star pass leading towards New York actually rocking over the century mark. So they are in. They are at 102.
Except that we have a jammer penalty assessed at the end of that jam. I think it was very close to the end of the jam for Michigan. So a power start now for New York.
That's right. Racer McChaser can do nothing but watch as Switchcraft is out there about to see if Michigan is able to hold and do a penalty kill on this one.
Only 2 minutes left. Michigan obviously in a great position to take this one home. Switchcraft still pushing hard. Hammer moving in. Where's the Brutal moving in there to try to break things up? Gets Switchcraft through for lead.
Racer McChaser one-on-one is able to dive around on the inside. Is going to pick up another forearm penalty.
Tough break for Michigan, but again, in a very solid position with 1:20 left on the clock.
Yeah, with this amount of time, it's really difficult. I don't think that they're going to be able to pull the 74 points out of this one.
No. Even with a double power jam, which this has worked out to be for them.
But Switchcraft is not going to turn it off. They're going to keep going. Pushing it out. They're going to get 4 points for New York. See if they can't close out that gap as 1 minute is left on the period clock. Jam time is trailing by 2 seconds. So there is a possibility for a timeout if New York is expeditious on their timeout call.
Could be. Have to get it right away. Oh. Switchcraft through for 4 more. Racer McChaser out of the box right now, chasing them down. Switch cuts to the inside. Apex jump, not able to stick it. Calls it off on their back on the inside, and we'll see if there's time enough to call for that timeout. They're going to need it if there's going to be a final jam. 2-8 on that.
So make sure you buy your raffle tickets out there.
Yep. Unofficial final, they did not call the final timeout, which is reasonable. Sometimes dragging out the inevitable doesn't benefit anybody. Right. So unofficial finals, 110 to 178 with Michigan on top. They will go on to face either Texas or Black Diaspora, which I believe is in progress now.
Oh, yeah, so keep your eyes over there and see how that plays out.
Hard fought on both sides here. Great game. Michigan, the hometown favorites, take it. And our MVP.
Well, we're going to wait for the official count. We put in our vote. This one is correct. It's the same one that we chose. It's going to be number 32, McDonald for Michigan. And they will be winning a $20 gift card to Modern Skate and Surf.
And their name will ring throughout the ages for all eternity as the MVP of game 20-something.
Yeah. All right.
All
well,
right.
The fans have lined up in front of us for the handshake on the conclusion of this one, so we're going to go ahead and drop the mics, get ourselves rested up, and get ready to join you here again later today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Handle Barbarian.
This is Mo Cheesemo.
And we'll talk to you.